When we watch golf, we are captivated by the players and the scenery. But have you ever wondered about the voices guiding us through every stroke, every hole, every triumph, and every disappointment? Today, we delve into the unseen world of golf commentary. We'll share a surprising fact about a famous commentator that you won't believe.
For Player! Yes, for Gary Player!
Stick around to find out. From the early pioneers to the iconic voices we know today, join us as we uncover the art, the skill, and the challenges of golf commentary. The art of commentary. So what does it take to be the voice behind the spectacle? Let's explore golf commentary as the art form that it is. All golf commentators ever do is talk, right? But if anyone can talk, what makes these commentators so special? It's true. If you want to be a successful golf announcer, you have to be a fine talker. But this is not just any fancy talk, it's golf talk. And how do you talk about golf if you know nothing about it? The world of golf is an entire universe with a unique language, and just as painters need their palettes, every commentator must come to the mic with all the jargon in their bag. What makes the job even trickier is that fans expect commentators to talk golf, but also speak their language. Listening to commentators geek out on technicalities can be like watching paint dry, and even painters don't want to do that. The most successful golf commentators are those who break down the game. They speak eloquently, using simple language that keeps the viewers engaged. And let's be honest, keeping the ordinary guy glued to golf can be difficult. Without excellent commentary, most people would click off to watch some Netflix or that YouTube video about the oldest crocodiles in the world. Hey, not now! Those crocs can surely wait a few more minutes. The commentator's primary job is engagement. In addition to analysis, they are responsible for filling those activity deserts during golf tournaments. They also have to say something when someone's fighting an umbrella in the wind.
All you got to do is figure out what the day's been like. Watch this as we take you to break.
Or when the Gators come out to play.
A lot of Gators out there today. Whoa.
And when an errant golf ball injures a fan, they've got to put a vocal band-aid over the wound.
Suddenly, I feel something on me, but I don't realize.
A quick wit is an invaluable asset in golf broadcasting, whether in the booth or out on the course. For the viewers who watch tournaments to learn about golf, commentators have to keep their attention by speaking about the styles of different players, analyzing shots, criticizing decisions, and predicting plays. You can't do any of that without a deep understanding of golf. This is why most people behind the mic have more golf experience than the average fan. They are usually veteran players, coaches, caddies, or journalists who have soaked in the game for many years. Besides their knowledge, they must be in the know all the time. Imagine observing a field of 100 and something players and having to comment about each one of them. Yes, media guides help in this area, but those books can look like J.R. Tolkien wrote them. It takes a ton of research and attention to the game to succeed as a golf commentator. Before every tournament, they familiarize themselves with a lot of history and news. How has a player fared in previous outings in the tournament? Has there been a renovation on a hole? Are there any rule changes fans want to know about? And these are only some possible talking points. Due to the intricacies of the job, some media training is necessary. Commentators don't exactly need a degree in journalism, but before taking the big jobs, they must have done some training in the field. It's the same way you don't really need to go to art school to be the next Picasso, but you need to at least know the right end of the brush. Overall, people want to listen to commentators who are easy on the ears. They want voices they can relate to. If they can sound like their favorite uncle or sister who can't shut up about golf, even better. Watching golf is a leisurely activity, and as much as fans need that intelligent picture painting, they just want to relax. And no one has whispered sweet beauties about the dimpled ball game like these guys. The voices we know. From mere whispers to full-blown exclamations, there are voices we've grown to love. Let's meet the icons of golf commentary. Peter Alliss. Peter Alliss will be remembered as one of the most notable names in the history of golf broadcasting. He was nicknamed the voice of golf for making commenting look so easy. When Alliss was in the booth, you could picture him at home chatting about the British Open with a pal. It was that simple for him. Alliss was from a different era when people spoke without filters. Then, commentators said anything that crossed their minds, and if your favorite player had ever found himself in Alice's crosshairs, trust Alice had taken shots at them. After another round of Alice's scathing candor at Wentworth in 2008, Nick Doherty called his commentary disgusting and Alice himself out of touch. To which Alice responded, "They are so thin-skinned nowadays. It is quite extraordinary. They all say they can take criticism, and they don't mind constructive criticism. Balls, they do mind." However, he balanced his bites with a peerless ability to create laughter. He wasn't the type to take you through the numbers, but he could transport you to the course and make gold from random moments like this.
Dad, come on, Dad, it's cold. Trying to smile, I really am happy, Dad.
In the world of color commentary, Alice was the closest to Leonardo da Vinci. As a player, he won 31 professional tournaments and played in 8 Ryder Cups. He was still playing when he started working for the BBC in 1961. Shortly after he retired, he became BBC's lead golf commentator in 1978. Decades later, the beloved Englishman was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2012. Ken Venturi. Ken Venturi was the ultimate golf aficionado. He was a brilliant player with a bright career cut short by injuries. His most famous victory came at the 1964 US Open, when he fought through a heat stroke to win his only major title. When Venturi entered the booth in 1967, he instantly became a respected voice in the game, and fans waited to hear his opinion on every topic. He gradually overcame a noticeable stutter and spent 35 years as CBS Sports lead analyst. When he retired in 2002, he was the longest-tenured lead analyst in the history of sports broadcasting. Vern Lundquist. Wherever the Mount Rushmore of American sportscasters is, Vern Lundquist is sure up there with the greatest voices in sports. Since he started on the radio in the 1960s, Lundquist has built a portfolio cutting across all notable sporting events in America. He's one of the most revered play-by-play commentators in history. He's covered games for ABC, TNT, and CBS, which says a lot about his brilliance. His passionate delivery has been a feature at the Masters for nearly 4 decades. And you can bet he's witnessed some of golf's greatest moments. At the 17th hole of the final round of the 1986 Masters, Jack Nicklaus needed to make a putt to take the outright lead. As the ball rolled toward the hole, Lundquist said, "Maybe." And the moment the ball dropped, he belted out the legendary, "Yes, sir."
Maybe. Yes, sir!
Who better to call one of the Golden Bear's finest moments, if not the Golden Voice himself? Dottie Pepper. Dottie Pepper won 25 tournaments, including 2 ANA Inspirations on the LPGA Tour, before injuries forced her to retire in 2004. The following year, ESPN scooped her up for her analytical skills, and after she brought her New York flair to on-course commentary, the rest is history. Fans missed her when she left NBC to work for the PGA of America in 2012, but by 2013, she was back on the course. And when CBS needed to replace David Faraday, guess who they called? That's right, they went for Pepper. She's one of the most recognizable on-course announcers, mainly because she tells it as it is. On day 2 of the 2007 Solheim Cup, the U.S. team had given away 2 victories to their European opponents. Later that day, Pepper thought the network had gone to commercial and called the U.S. players choking freaking dogs. Of course, the players weren't okay with her comment, and as much as we hate to admit it, moments of shock and awe like that are what people tune in for. David Faraday. Talking about shock and awe, in that aspect, David Faraday is a one of one. The Northern Irishman started out as a golf pro in 1976, but in 1997, 2 decades and 10 pro wins later, Faraday joined CBS. He was the network's prized asset until NBC Sports snatched him in 2015. It would seem that Faraday always follows the money. Or maybe it's the other way around. In July 2022, Live Golf, on their hunt for golf's best, employed Faraday for what he revealed was a lot of money. Faraday's a comedic genius, like Peter Alliss was, and they also share a reputation for political incorrectness. Faraday is so funny that even non-golf fans know it's never boring when Faraday's on duty. Jim Nantz. When Jim Nantz eventually drops the mic, it will be the loudest mic drop in sportscasting history. Since 1986, he's been CBS's go-to guy for their coverage of the PGA Tour, NBA, NFL, and the Masters. His voice has been a staple at the Masters since he made this call in 1986. On a day that heard a treasure trove of iconic calls, Jack Nicklaus was charging for his 6th Masters victory at age 46. Nance waited for the putt on the 16th hole before declaring, "The bear has come out of hibernation."
Battle is joined. My goodness, there's life in the old bear yet.
His gift has been his remarkable timing, which has tied his name to several historical moments in sports. It will be unforgivable to leave some names unmentioned in a conversation like this. Sir Nick Faldo, Gary McCord, Gary Koch, Peter Costas, Bill McAtee, and Roger Maltby are some other voices that have earned their places in golf lore. Challenges and triumphs. But it's not always fairways and greens in the world of golf commentary. These professionals have their challenging and triumphant moments too. You'll be surprised to know what some of these commentators have been through. Golf commentators come under a lot of fire, which comes with the job. If you want to think aloud to millions of people with opinions on the same matter, you must invest in a thick skin. But apart from the fans, players also take comments personally when they don't sit well with them. Patrick Reed took it up a notch in 2022 when he sued Golf Channel's analyst Brandel Chambly for defamation. Reed's lawyer was asking for $750 million in damages. According to the suit, Chambly, Golf Channel, and the PGA Tour, and others, had been conspiring to destroy his client's reputation since he was 23 years old. Reed's trouble with Chambly started in 2019 when Chambly commented on his scandalous show at the Hero World Challenge. Cameras caught Reed improving his lie in a sand trap, and the golf world was fuming. On his show on the Golf Channel, Chambly echoed the thoughts of many fans and players, saying, "To defend what Patrick Reed did is defending cheating. It's defending breaking the rules." Later in 2020, Chambly got a cease and desist letter from Reed's lawyer. Then, in the heat of the LIV Golf crisis in 2022, Chambly actively kicked against the PGA defectors on TV and Twitter. And this was what prompted the lawsuit from Patrick Reed. Interestingly, Chambly found himself in hot water when the two rival tours decided to merge in 2023. After the news of the merger broke, Brooks Koepka quipped on Twitter, "Welfare check on Chambly." Expectedly, after the tweet went viral, several others piled on Chambly for his comments about LIV Golf and the Saudi money behind it. Criticism is a big part of the commentator's job, but they also get criticized a lot. An example was an article Greg Norman wrote for Golf Worldwide in 2017. In it, the Shark was promoting his collaboration with Verizon and sharing his ideas on the future of golf. But at one point, he took a swipe at golf's talking heads. He wrote, "One thing I find far from appealing is the quality of some of the commentating on TV. They're as boring to listen to as it is to watch boring golfers play. You get that constant monotone voice. Everyone hits a great shot. Nobody has an opinion. Nobody wants to upset the apple cart. And everyone's got the greatest short game in the world. When I was in the gym watching the Masters on TV last month, I turned the sound off and listened to my favorite music and simply cranked up the volume." Wow! Coming from a golf legend, that statement was bound to cause a stir. Sir Nick Faldo, Norman's old foe turned commentator, had the perfect dig for Norman's dagger. He simply tweeted, "I think I need a hug." Faldo's response was funnier because Norman had failed in a broadcasting role at Fox Sports in 2015. His job with the network had lasted for just that year's US Open coverage. So, understandably, it surprised many fans that the Aussie had strong opinions about the job he had done unsuccessfully. Nick Faldo's comment was clearly a cheeky jibe, but some commentators might need a hug. In a 2015 interview with Rolling Stones, David Feherty detailed the extent of his substance abuse and depression. He'd always been open about his struggles, but this was an eye-opener to many. When asked about a typical day in his drug-fueled life, Feherty said, "A typical day was 30 to 40 Vicodin and 2.5 bottles of whiskey. Real whiskey. Whiskey with an E. There was cocaine. There was dope. When I think about it now, I'm like, why am I alive?" Now, that's a funny guy who has a lot to laugh about. Still, commentary has not been all doom and gloom. It has brought many of its practitioners success. Take Gary McCord, Feherty's partner for many years, for example. He had a lackluster golfing career before turning to golf broadcasting. 0 trophies from over 400 tournaments is not the prayer, but that was McCord's record. For him, commentary gave him the good fortune he couldn't find as a player. Like him, Frank Nobilo also found success behind the mic. A ball that hit his eye and impaired his sight had stunted his career. But he found a home for his expertise on the other side of the mic. The future of golf commentary. With evolving technology and a new generation of golfers, what does the future hold for golf commentary? Let's gaze into the crystal ball, shall we? Since golf commentary's earliest days, commentators have been whispering over a slow sport played in intermittent graveyard silence. But a change might soon come to the old commentary traditions. Modern technology is one factor that might turn golf broadcasting on its head, and most of the technological additions will focus on personalizing commentary experience. One new concept golf has welcomed is having players go live while in action. ESPN sampled this idea at the 2023 Masters when they mic'd up Max Homa and Rory McIlroy for their coverage. Since then, other tournaments have tested the format, and for the fans, observing the internal dialogue of elite golfers has been an absolute thrill. In the future, we could see the incorporation of augmented reality and virtual reality into golf commentary. With this technology, the commentator can give viewers a more immersive viewing experience. Imagine seeing the actual ridges on the green while a commentator analyzes a putt. Also, streaming services might expand commentary options in the future. Soon, viewers might be able to choose their preferred language, camera angle, and even commentators. Artificial intelligence can also support commentary with real-time statistics and more accurate shot tracing, ball-to-hole distance, and weather reports. In the future, fans might be allowed to join the commentary through social media. Fans would love this, but broadcasters might need to censor their comments to avoid promoting malicious messages. These are some of the ways golf commentary might change in the future. Tell us the changes you want to see in golf commentary in the comments. If you enjoyed this video about golf commentary's unsung heroes, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below. We're sure you'll like that too. Let us know in the comments if there's another area of golf you'd like us to cover. See you there!